Okay, hello everyone. Thank you very much for watching this lecture. This lecture is ODA and law. What is ODA? And law. You may say that law is so monotonous things. Yes, it is. Yeah. I am lawyer and I'm teaching the law. But please remember that the ODA issue is quite interesting. Therefore, ODA, that word can cover the monotonous things from law. Yes, for these semesters, we will see the various types of concepts on the ODA issues and the legal issues as well. Right, today, as your first lecture of the ODA law semester, we will see the general concept and the very fundamental things on the ODA issues and legal issues. Okay, are you ready? Then here we go. Right, let's start the part one of today's lecture. It's a general introduction and the basic concept of ODA. Yes, ODA issues is very popular these days in the domestic societies and international societies as well. Many countries are related to the ODA issues. Some countries are donors and some countries are recipients. Yes, ODA is official assistance to the developing countries from developed world. So, we have many international issues on the assistance work. So, in this part, we will see the basic concept of ODA. Okay, general introduction to the class. For these semesters, we will see the many kind of development issues and ODA issues and legal point. So we will see briefly. We will see the what we'll do in these semesters. Okay. Firstly, we will see the very basic point on the ODA issues. Before then, we will see the international development and cooperation concept. Many countries in the international societies we see in the modern societies, of course, developed world have to help the developing countries. Why developed countries have to help the developing world? For long history of human beings, we can check the various momentums, turning point in the history of human beings. Some human beings, we pressed other human beings. Do you think it is harmonized with the humanism? Yes. It's not so related to humanism. So after the Second World War, international societies or each countries realized that what is the real humanism, the concept? If somebody cannot eat something, we have to share our food with them. That is very basic things. So since then, developed countries started to share their food with developing countries. Of course, after the Second World War, new countries from the former colonial areas, such as Africa, Southeast Asia and the Southern Americas. These areas, yeah, newcomers in to the international societies, they also insisted that we can live together with our happiness with these kind of concept. If we share our food, then we can be happy. This very simple concept stimulates to develop the concept assistance. So international development and cooperation, this concept is for the assistance in the international societies to the somebody who cannot eat food. ODA, this concept is quite a bit narrower concept, a bit more official things. Assistance, but official assistance is ODA concept. Yes, I can share my food with my friend in the international societies. So recently, individual help to the other countries, to the other people in the other countries, or the companies can help the other people in the other countries. But if a government with the official money, that is tax, if a government of a certain country, if they help other government, that is very official work. So in this case, we can call that assistance job as official development assistance. So official development assistance, is quite popular sector in the international societies in these days. Yes. But the thing is that this is very official work, and many governments, they will use the tax, very official public money to the other countries. Therefore, we need some kind of regulation or some kind of official control under the rule. So in the international societies, we need international law for the regulation of these official development assistance, or in the domestic level, certain countries, if a certain government in a certain country, if they want to use their public money budget from tax to help other government, then they have to follow, or they have to keep the domestic rules regarding the tax, or regarding budget regulation. Can you make the good rules for the international development cooperation or ODA issues? That is our dreams. International societies always think about this point. How can we regulate the ODA issues in a better way? So when we see the various issues regarding ODAs, then we will continue to make better rules, better laws for the international development cooperation or ODA jobs. Recently, international societies are making quite good rules. You may heard that MDG or SDG. This is the very symbolic guidelines for the United Nations members regarding development issues. So in the international stages, these days, many international groups or organizations, they are making good guidelines, good regulation, good rules for their development issues. SDG or MDG is one of the some good examples on that. So regarding ODA issues, yeah, we can see the basic concept and the regulation point, and the final destination is that how can you make better regulation guidelines or standards in the international societies, or yeah, and also yeah, domestic society as well. What about Korean position? Yes, as a member of international societies, Korea, yeah, good members, yeah. As a members of international societies, Korea are doing many jobs regarding development assistance. Yeah. So Korean government are using budget which is from the tax, yeah, the public money, to help other countries, developing countries. This is Korean ODA job. And Korea is a member of international society. So therefore, this country have to follow the international standard, such as yeah, MDG and SDGs. But also, Korea will have to consider the domestic regulation because they used the budget, the domestic budget. So Korea also have to make the good international rules and domestic rules as well. And they have a kind of duty, obligation to follow the international rules and laws. So when we see the Korean style of ODA works, then we can dream about good rules for the Korean ODA works. How can you work? How can you do? How can you make good rules for the Korean ODA works? It is one of the our object of our studies, right? Okay, in this class, we will see various types of concept or theories on the ODA issues. So, International Development Cooperation and ODA, these concepts can make varieties of related things. And then we can make a linkage with law and development works. Legal issues in the international societies is core point of the regulation of the ODA works. And then we'll consider the Korean's position. What is the Korean ODA works? And then how the Korean government and Korean societies are working to help the other countries. And what is the law for the Korean ODA? There is, it must be an international law and Korean domestic law altogether. And then we have to see how can we harmonize with the international law and domestic law together. This is very difficult job, but yeah, in these semesters we will see that point as well. Yeah, I'm sure that you are ready to quit No, yeah, you don't have to take the kind of a burden. This lecture is very easy and very interesting. Trust me. Please trust me. Okay? Yeah. Okay, what we will see. I've already talked about the steps or scenarios of this semester's course. Then we have to take a study point for this course. Firstly, we have to understand the background and the several concepts on the ODA issues in international societies or Korean societies. Then, yeah, we will see the subject or players, yeah, in the international societies regarding development works, such as United Nations or MDB, that is Multinational Development Bank, and recently NGOs are becoming important, yeah, more important than before, right? And then we can imagine the Korean models on the development jobs. So Korean government are dreaming about the Korean models for the developing countries, because Korea was a very poor country several decades ago. But nowadays, yeah, Korea became, now Korea is one of the very successful country in many dimensions. Therefore, Korea can be a good model for the developing country. So why don't we make the model, Korean style models for the development job? Yes, yeah, it's possible things. And then last stage, yes, law, law, yeah, not law, yeah, law. To do the good jobs on the ODA work, policies of the countries or international society is very important. But the thing is that if we have just only policies, then how can we regulate? What is the standard? What is the good map? Yeah. So for that things, we need good map, good standard to follow. Yeah. To keep our policies. So policies and law is related together. Then we have to see the good policies and law, yeah, on the ODA issues. We can distinguish two different sectors of laws regarding development issues. That is international development law or national or domestic development law. Yeah. So we will see these legal points as well. Okay. Yeah. In this semester, we have to rush 빨리, yeah, to understand these things, and then in the final destination, yeah, you can explain the knowledge to the other people. Now, we have to understand a very basic point, a very basic concept for these semesters: international development and ODA things. In the international society, especially in the modern society, since Second World War, international society members, we are realizing that certain country can or must help other country if the other country is not enough to enjoy the happiness. For long times, yeah, some leading country pressed or squeezed the other country under the name of colonies or under the name of imperialisms, colonialism, yeah. But now we can understand that it's not good things for the concept of humanism. Then, what can we do? Yeah, we have to share our knowledge, we have to share our food, we have to share our energy for the whole human beings. So, under the philosophy of justice, under the philosophy of equality, the international societies, or all human beings, we have to do something. So, certain developed groups started to help lower level of developing world. To make them level up to this level. That is international development issues. And ODA is more official job of international development. Okay? So let's start the details on the point. Firstly, we will see the international development. International development, this concept is quite familiar to us. Human development in global level. This is international development job. Yeah. But international societies, we may make a bit of variations from these very simple concepts. Human development in global level. This is the international development work, but in the details, you can make more different types of detailed jobs. It is international aid or humanitarian aid to the people. Yep, yeah. We have a water, and somebody they need water. Then we can pass my water to my friend. If you feel thirsty, then drink it. It's mine, but now it is yours. It's a very simple thing. Then my friend will say that, thank you. This is very simple job, but for long times, international societies or countries, they could not that work because it's for their profit, for their own civilians, not the other countries' people. But since the Second World War, with the reconstruction work after the Second World War, especially the European country realized that what we have done before the Second World War, we devastate other countries, other continent, and we just try to enjoy ourselves. We just try to help our citizens, ignoring the other people in the other continent under the name of imperialism or colonialism. So they changed their mind since Second World War. Before then, before the modern histories, certain leading European countries, such as United Kingdom, France, Germany, those kind of countries, they believe that we are in the upper position, and the other country in the other continent, they are not in upper position. Therefore, we are enough to strong enough strong to control them. It is very simple thing, but they try to decorate their logics. Why, the reason why they have to control the developing country. Why? Why? Yeah, because they are not in the upper level. They are not in the same level. Therefore, with their knowledge, they can control them. Yeah, passing their knowledge. Yeah, for their happiness. But we know that it's not a good thing. Even though those kind of logic can provide the kind of reason why they can dominate or control their colonial country. But under the name of humanism, it is not good things. Therefore, yeah, the leading European countries, even though they use the concept of colonialism to control the colonial countries, they knew that it's not harmonized with the humanism. But they tried to justify themselves why they control, why they dominate these colonial countries, because they are in the upper level. They want to, yeah, they want to share their knowledge to the colonial country. Underdeveloped countries, which is the developing world, in those days, there is normally a colonial countries, such as in the South America or Africa or Southeast Asia. Yeah, they believe that they have to take good lessons from the developed world, such as European countries. There is the logics of colonialism or imperialism. We know that it's not good things. Yeah. So after the Second World War, the European leading countries, not anymore. Yeah. They changed their mind. So yeah, if we have a good knowledge, better knowledge, or good information, then you can share to help them, not to dominate them. So from colonialism, yeah, they changed the logics into their international development or humanitarian aid concept with adding the humanism. But since 1950s, United States friendly groups or former Soviet Union friendly group, they started the ideology competition. United States friendly groups such as United States, Japan, and Korea, and some Western European countries, Canada, etc. These countries, they wanted to help each other. For example, Korea, they received a lot of help from United States friendly groups because United States friendly groups, they want to keep their groups, their memberships against Soviet Union friendly groups. What about Soviet Union friendly groups? For example, Russia, and the Eastern European countries, or Cuba, Cuba. These countries, or North Korea, these countries, they are they wanted to help each other to keep their socialism, to communism. So ideology competition changed a kind of the shape of the concept of the international development after the Second World War since 1950s. Yeah. So again, the concept of international development have changed again. So since Second World War in the modern societies, yeah, from the colonialism to the adding the humanitarian concept, they've changed the international development work into the humanitarian aid. Then, since 1950s, with the Cold War, with the ideological competitions, United States friendly groups and the Soviet Union friendly groups, they changed the major concept of the humanitarian aid for their political interest. However, the core point, what is the core point of international development? Development or assistance in the international stage. This core point hasn't changed. Some way, some reasons, certain country helped other country. These basic things, fundamental point, it's not changed. Okay? Right. Let's see the other point. Modernization, structural adjustment in the modern societies, especially developing countries, they have to adjust with the new changed world after the Second World War. Or international societies, they realize that, okay, developed world can help developing countries to understand each other, to share their knowledge. But why? We have a common point, poverty reduction. Developing countries, we need development to reduce our poverty. This is very important. Human beings need food to survive. It's very simple things. So, international development work, the concept has changed. The common point for the common point of the human beings, poverty reductions, international society have to do these common jobs. This is the long-term point, but from this country, from that country, it is not just these work. It is common work of international societies for the poverty reduction. So, the changes are happens in the international societies in the modern history. Second World War, ideology competitions, and then international societies have some kind of common purpose, common object, then such as poverty reductions. So, and then since I think 1970s, 1980s, again, international societies have changed very speedy ways, very fast. So developing countries has to follow the changes, the speed of changes. So social and economical structural transformation is becoming a very important point for the developing countries. And also developing world to reduce the poverty in their countries, they wanted to make many factories. Industrialization became also important issues for the developing world. How can you make the factories? Or how can you make the industrialization? They have to take the knowledge or information from developed world. Therefore, the developing countries try to take the knowledge from the information. But since 1990s and 2000, roughly, with the global standard issues, with the establishment of WTO system, or with the development of technology or transportation systems, the world society is becoming smaller and smaller. And then each country, they felt that they are near than before. So for the common issues in the international societies, they started to make their common budget, direct budget, for the improvement of social welfare of the people in the developing countries. So, long time ago, development issues or assistance issues were the issues between two countries or among the three countries or more. But nowadays, it became the common issues for the whole international societies. The concepts are changing for more common things, for more general human beings, for more one international societies. Not for the each different countries, different issues. Okay? Well, in the modern societies, of course, some academics or specialists criticize on the development jobs. The main theme of criticism is quite simple. The world distribution of wealth is much more unequal than that of income. Recently, we can see that very small groups can make lots of money than before, very small group in the world. And then majority of countries and majority of people are just follower. And then the gaps between the small rich group and the other group are bigger than before. It is very serious things. So even though we are doing some kind of development work or assistance job, some people may say that the situation becoming worse than before. And also some specialists criticize on the other point. Leading groups, they may say that we will share our knowledge with the developing world, but it is new types of colonialism. Why? Because certain developed world tries to inject their knowledge or their concept, their information to the developing countries under the name of assistance. And then developing world, which receive the help, then they have to follow the standards from developed world. Then it is new types of colonialism. Some people may criticize on this point as well. And also, in the point of economics, some specialists may point these very negative dimensions. The wealthy country, the companies in the wealthy countries, they tried to persuade or attract the consumer in the developing world to buy their product. And then the consumers in the poor countries, they are becoming poorer than before. So the industrial or economic structure in the developing countries are more dominated by the developed world. Therefore, the economic relationship is not equal. So it is very far from our dreams or our object of international development. It is very far from the equality. So some specialists or academics criticize on these shadows of international development. But I want to say that even though these criticisms, do we have to abandon the development job? No. Although we have some criticisms on that, yeah, which I explained, but we have to do more international development assistance work because we still have positive dimensions on this work. Okay. Of course, yeah, the negative point must be changed, yeah, based on the criticisms of the specialist. Okay, let's see the official development assistance. What is the official development assistance? Yeah, ODA is a part of the international development job. Yeah, for example, if the international development job is this boundary, then official development assistance is a bit smaller things. Inside of the development work, if someone use public money, the official money, official budget, or if someone is government which use official budget, then this job, this development or this assistance job is very official things. So this is governmental actions or some kind of using public money. Then, yeah, this is official assistance work in the international development work boundary. Then that work, we can call that work as the official development assistance. Why many countries want to do the work? There's so many reasons. Firstly, yeah, under the humanism, yeah, we have to share our knowledge, we have to share our food, yeah, we have to share our economic benefit, yeah. There is the justice in the international society. But also, yeah, each country may feel that when we help other countries, our image to the people in there to be, yeah, improved. For example, Korea help other countries, then the people in that country, they may feel that, Korea is good country. So image of Korea to be improved. Then good improved image can help the trade of Korea to that country. This is another point of the reason of official development assistance. Anyway, this is a very new concept of international development. So international development is quite a big one, and among the international development work, we can make narrow down some part of the development work as the, and then we can call that official development assistance work. Okay, let's see the drawings. International development works are a bit big one, and then official development assistance is a bit smaller one. So any kind of development work, any kind of assistance work in the international societies, then we can call those whole jobs as the international development work. Therefore, in the international development work boundaries, there's so many different types of categories of development work. So in the global level, if somebody helped the other people, other country, then are the development work. Among these development works, if government do something, if somebody use public or official budget, then we can call that work as the official development assistance work. Got it? Yeah, I'm sure that you understand the differences between international development work and the ODA works. Okay? All right, thank you very much for the listening or watching this part one. In this part one, we have checked the very basic fundamental concept of the international development work and the official development assistance work. Then we also check the changes of the concept of ODA or official development work. Recently, we can see that ODA work or official or international development work are changing. The concept also are changing these days again. Okay, thank you very much. I'll see you in the part 2. Okay, guys, did you have a good break? Yes. Let's start the part 2 of today's lecture. In this part, we will see the very basic point of ODA. You may understand, now you may understand the basic concept of ODA works. But now, we will see the details under the concept of the ODA works, and then we will see the some kind of sources of ODA works. What is the ODA works, and what is the dimensions of ODA works? So in this part, we will see these areas. Okay, ODA is the quite new concept of international development. Recent days, to promote economic development or to improve the quality of life in developing countries. This is the very governmental actions, public actions with the budget from a certain countries, normally from the developed world, or the budget from international organizations. Therefore, in this work, we have two players normally, donors or recipient. Donors are a provider, normally developed world or international organizations, or and the other partners, the recipient is receiver of the help, assistance, normally are developing countries. So donors and the recipient, they work together to make better research of ODA project. Please remember that it is very public things. So government of certain countries or the official groups in a certain international organizations are players as the donors, and then the recipient to be normally developing countries. So the flows of the help, you can imagine that from the donors to the recipient is the mainstream of flows of the help. What is the main theme of the help assistance? Normally, donors will provide grant or concessional loans to the recipient countries. What is the grant and concessional loans? This is a very important point. We can say that it's money or some kind of money evaluated things. So donors, under the name of development work, will provide grant or concessional loan, that is money or money related things, to the recipient. And the recipient will receive these things and they will do something for their people and their countries. Providing the things, budget, receiving the money, the budget, it must done by the cooperation between two partners. So donors and the recipient, they must work together. Long time ago, we believed that donors will provide something and the recipient, they just receive without any asking or intention. Who can choose what can provide? Donors, not recipient. But recent days, for the effectiveness of these cooperation jobs, recipient can ask something to donors. We need these things, not that point. For the effectiveness of the works, it is much more important. Normally, sometimes, donors cannot, they doesn't know what they need from the recipient part side. Therefore, if recipient can say officially, ask something, saying that we need these things, not that things, then donors can provide these things, not that things. Then we can expect effectiveness of these assistance jobs. Therefore, recent days we use this word, cooperation between two partners. So, donors and recipient, they work together under the name of cooperation. So, donors and the recipient, they work together to make effectiveness of the assistance job. So, please remember that donors have to cooperate with recipient to improve effectiveness of the assistance job. It's not the option. It is obligation of donor countries. Okay? So donors must cooperate, give and take, share the information with recipient. That is important point. In the recent ODA field. Please remember that cooperation, okay? Let's see the items of ODA works. Grant and concessional loan. We have two different sides. Grant is the free money. So if donors, developed countries, for example, if they provide the grant to the recipient, developing countries, then they will not expect repayment. Then this is free money, no conditions. Yeah, that is grant. We call that assistance as a grant. The other thing is that concessional loans. Loans means providers will expect repayment in the future. But why we can call these types as the ODA assistance? Yeah, because it is concessional things and it is very good conditions. So the donors can provide cash or goods, which can be evaluated as money. Then the donors will expect the repayment in the future, payback in the future. And then there must be an interest. If you visit your bank and if you ask the money from the bank as your loans, yeah, then you have to pay back the original money plus interest. But the concessional loan under the name of the ODA jobs, yeah, the interest to be very low. And then the repayment schedule should be very long, such as 20 years, yeah, like that. So the recipient country, they will take these loans very easy ways or with very good conditions from donors. So we can call these providings of the loans is also kind of types of ODA actions. So, but if donors just provide their ODA work only by the types of the concessional loans, expecting payback in the future, then I think nobody will provide the grant. So in order to count as the ODA, there's the international rules. Concessional loan must have the grant element of 25% or greater. So international society tried to reduce the percentage of concessional loan. And then they tried to push, to try to expand the percentage of grant. But still, there's still a big part of the ODA actions consist of the concessional loans as well. So loan is normally provided by the bank from local government of a certain country, or the loans can be provided by the international organization. Okay, yeah. So the two different types, grant or concessional loans, are commonly the types of the ODA actions. Okay. In recent days, in the modern societies, in the international stage, we can see the directions of ODA work. Comparing to the former days, for example, Second World War or colonialism eras or imperialism period, the directions are changed, lots of changes. So when we understand the main directions of ODA in the recent international societies, then we can understand the mainstream of international societies as well. So let's see the main directions of ODA very briefly. Firstly, inequality. To recognize the inequality within the nations, between the nations, yeah. Of course, we have to make equal condition in the international society, but the reality is very far from these ideal situation. So we have to understand, we have to accept that international society is not equal. Then, yeah, we have to make something, we have to do something, these unequal conditions into the equal conditions. It is not easy, but direction is to make equal condition of whole members of international society. But reality is unequal, so we have to accept that unequal society. Okay? Then dignity. The first article of Universal Declaration of Human Rights, they provided these things. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. Yes, human beings have the dignity. So we have to treat the human beings, all human beings, considering their dignity. So we have to always think about the dignity of human beings. Participation. Development project, development assistance project, programs must be done by participation of both sides. For example, if recipient country doesn't ask anything to the donor player, then the donor players will select their option. Sometimes their options not harmonize with the needs of recipient country. It's disaster. So if they cooperate together, if recipients participate the development assistance job more energetically, then the development assistance project or program should be more beneficial, more effective. So participation, especially by the recipient partners, to be good point. So this is also main directions of recent ODA works. Appropriateness. Donor country must provide good things to the recipient country. To do that, they must work together, participation. For what? Appropriateness of the project. So, the sharing of information to make up the needs of the recipient countries, donor partners always think about what is the best choice for these projects. So correct scale or correct technical level must be checked again and again and again for the appropriateness of a certain ODA project. And also, donors must consider, must think their societies of the recipient world. Because sometimes it can be a break of etiquette, yeah, or a tradition of a recipient country if something which is selected by the donors. So to reduce those kind of risky point, appropriateness of ODA works is core point of the recent ODA works. Okay? Let's see the other point. Sustainability. This is very, very important dimensions of recent ODA works. Let's say the one case. A certain recipient country needs food. So donor country decided to provide a certain food to that recipient country. Okay, good. This year, the recipient country, they can share the food from the donor country, this donor country, and they can share this food with their citizens. So they can reduce the hungerness of people in there. But this is the just short-term solution. The next year, again, the donor country needs the food again. So, do you think the donor countries have to provide the same amount of food again and again and again without any solution, any other solution, any other options? Yeah. To do that, the donor country can teach the solution for the recipient country. How can you make money to buy food by themselves, their hands? That should be a more sustainable solution for the developing countries. So, to reduce dependency of the assistance in the long-term view, donors must stimulate the economic growth or empowerment of developing country itself. If the developing country can make money themselves, or they can make food themselves, then donors can reduce, in the long-term view, they can reduce the assistance. It must be a final goals or directions of ODA works. In relation to the sustainability, capacity building is very important things. Yeah. How can they make the developing country to take the sustainability? If teach to make the money rather than providing the simple food, then it should be much more useful for the developing country to expand their capacity, their ability. Right? Yeah. So, in relation to the concept of sustainability, capacity building is very important point for the directions of recent ODA works. The recipient have to take the continuous ability for their future. Not just simply receiving the food at the moment, and then next year, again, food. Again, food. It's not good things. Yeah, to take the sustainability of the ODA works, we need stimuli, we need improvement of the ability of the developing countries. So capacity building of developing countries is very important. And the next one, right-based approach. Long time ago, developed world helped the developing countries because they felt sympathy to the developing countries. So it was kind of options for the developed world. They can help developing country, but if they don't want to do that, they don't have to help the developing world because it was their right, their option. However, recent days, under the humanitarian issues, and since Second World War, developed world understand the changes of the concept of assistance. For the prosperity of the whole human beings, developing world has a right to ask something to the developed world. So, developing world has a kind of right to ask to the developed world. So, right-based assistance work must be done. Then, the two different sides can cooperate together. Combining many different concepts of international development, such as sustainability or capacity building, empowerment of a developing country is quite important. And then they must believe that developing country has a right to ask something, to exercise their right. They have to do energetically do something, not just receiver. They have the right to ask something. They have the right as a member of international societies. So right-based approach is quite also important point. Okay, let's wrap up these main directions of recent ODA works. Recently, international societies realized that the shape of ODA works are changing, and the concept or the final destination or directions are changing. So, comparing to the former days, the changed directions are very fresh. They must understand both sides, dignity of human beings, and they must accept that reality of international society is not equal. Of course, we have to do something for the equality of whole members of international society, but realities are not equal. And then, for the appropriateness of the assistance work, or to make the improvement, to improve the effectiveness of their assistance work, we need participation of the developing world recipient. And then they have a right to do something to the donors, and then they must improve or they must expand their capacity. With these things, they can make sustainability of ODA works. Please remember that. sustainability is becoming much more important than before. Okay? Right. Recent days, in the international societies, with these main directions of the ODA works, many donor countries or recipient countries or international organizations, they are working together in many areas. So let's see the areas, the field of ODAs in recent days. Foreign aid, governance, healthcare, education, poverty reductions, and gender equality, disasters, preparedness, infrastructure, economics, human rights, environment. They are the main field of ODA. So, to improve governance of certain government of the developing country is very important. Effectiveness of the government can make better life of the people in there. Education, healthcare. For example, to make capacity building of developing country, education is core point. If the people in developing country can do something, they have improved ability than before, then they can do something more effective ways. That is capacity building. How can we do that? We have to teach them in the schools. So education is very important field in areas of ODA work. Therefore, many donors try to support to build schools and universities, and then they support to train the teachers. Okay? Poverty reduction, of course. Healthcare, Gender equality is becoming important than before. Long times ago, men can work outside of the house and women can work inside of the house. But this concept is not true anymore. These days, female workers can do something more effective ways than male workers. So sometimes, of course, we can provide some different conditions, but basically we have to have the gender equality concept. Disasters. Natural disasters, for example, can make the huge harms to the social conditions in the developing countries. Of course, even if the disasters can hit the developed world, but developed world normally they can recover soon. But developing countries, it's very hard to recover in the short term. So disaster preparedness is important for the developing countries. Infrastructure. For the economic development, infrastructure is very important. Or, infrastructure improvement, it can be related to the healthcare as well. If a certain country have the good hospital systems, then this infrastructure, then they can care the people, more effective ways. Infrastructure. Human rights. Many developing world, they cannot touch human rights issues because they do not have enough energy, time, or schedule, power, something like that. So, donors can support human rights improvement in a developing world. Environment, it's not certain issues only for the developing country. It is common issues for whole human beings in the international societies. But the thing is that environmental issues, it is a bit difficult for the developing country. Therefore, donors must help, must support the certain environmental issues in the developing world. Yeah. So, lots of various types of ODA projects can be done in the field of these areas, right? Okay, let's talk about this point. We have checked the various types of the ODA field in the whole international societies. So many kind of ODA projects are done by many donors and many recipients. Even though I tried to explain these ODA field in a different way, but we have to remember that these things are related together. Yeah. Good governance of the developing country can make good research to the healthcare system in there. Yeah, yeah, and education system as well. Gender equality, yeah, can make good research in the economics and human rights. Human rights, improvement of human rights in the developing countries can make the synergy effect to the education or poverty reductions. Infrastructure can do that as well. So the relationship are directly or indirectly, linked together. So interactions of the fields are important. It is very, very important for the effectiveness of the ODA project, ODA works. So yeah, please remember that interactions of the fields are core point, yeah, unavoidable things. All right. Okay, let's talk about the practice of the ODA. Now we have checked the many various types of areas of the ODA works. Then we'll see the a bit more detailed activities world. Yeah, how can you do the ODA work? For example, in the building of a certain infrastructure, then how can you do the ODA project? Yeah, we have many procedures, many kind of categories. Yeah, to make synergy effect, to make better effectiveness, etc. Let's see the certain developing countries. They need fresh water, good quality water. So they need the water and sanitation system in the country, right? To do that, they need the finance to invest money. Yeah, it is related to the livelihood and human right. Human beings have the right to drink fresh water, good water. It's also related to shelter, education, health, and migration. What is the measurement? Measurement, yeah, is also important point. Important area of the real work, real actions of ODA. If certain, for example, if a certain donors provided certain money or budget to the developing country. Let's say that. Then, how can we evaluate this project is good or not? This project is 90% successful or not? To do that, we need good measurement activities. We need a good standard to evaluate. Yeah, this is the measurement actions, right? Measurement, yeah, judging how developed the country or what further development is necessary or desirable. Yeah. We need statistics, a lot of statistics, yeah, such as GDP per capita, yeah, something like that. Migration, also important point. Culture, knowledge, skill, technologies with move of people. Yes. So migration is also important action point. For example, to provide a certain assistance service, we need a kind of agencies or staff, which are, yeah, people. So the people have to move from donor areas to the developing areas, and they will do something. That is, yeah, movement of people, migration. So international development actions to be done by, in many projects done by the migration. Water and sanitation, yeah, it is very basic point for the other ODA project. Yeah, provision of water and sanitary provisions it is the one of the fundamental things for the other ODA project or other living improvement of living standards. Health. We have many kind of ODA project regarding healthcare. Firstly, we can make the hospital, but only building hospital is not enough. We can teach the people how can you wash our hands, yeah? So we need a lot of infrastructure with many kind of education activities, yeah? And many other related works. So provision of access to the quality health care to the people in there is very, very important for the real actions of ODA jobs. Education, shelter, human rights, yeah. I don't want to talk about the details on these things. You may understand these things, yeah, in very easy ways. Yeah, please remember that. Education, shelter, and human rights. Livelihood, yeah, ensuring that all people in there to live in more better ways. The donors must provide better standard of living. Yes, to do that we can do many things, but the thing is that we have to understand the appropriateness. How can we improve their living standard? But considering appropriateness of the people, then we have to consider their traditions, yeah, and then their lifestyle and the other things. So we have to find out the adequate standard of living. Finance. Human beings need money. Government needs money. Yes, for the better life, we need money. So good financial system or good financial frameworks should be a very important work, yeah, for the better life. So in the developing world, there's so many types of improvement of finance of the people or of the government in there. International societies, they have done many works. Since Second World War, yeah, international societies established various types of organization or agencies on that. For example, 1944, the international societies made the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. Now it became the part of the World Bank groups. So you may heard that IMF as well, International Monetary Fund. And then 1945, with the establishment of United Nations, yeah, these organization establishment has a turning point. United Nations could make a standard, could make very basic stepping stones for further better organizations or agencies. Yes. So, yeah, international societies started to use United Nations for a better organization, institution. 2000, yeah, it is also the turning point of the ODA works. United Nations, they made Millennium Declaration and they launched MDGs, Millennium Development Goals, which is the target year, it should be 2015. And then, since 2000, in a new days, new period, international societies started to rush to help developing world under the new concept, new paradigm. It was MDG, Millennium Development Goal. And they started to add very fresh concept for the evaluation, measurement, or the participation, etc. And then, with the MDGs, the United Nations tried to emerge or the better standard program, development programs. After the target year 2015 of MDGs, United Nations launched another new things, new paradigms of development work. That is SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. And since then, international societies are trying to do their work, ODA work, to harmonize with the one of or some of SDGs. We will see the details of MDG or SDG in the later lectures. Okay, guys, in this part, we have checked the core point of the ODA works and the practice of the ODA works, and then international societies. Recent days, yeah, the international societies, or for example, United Nations, yeah, they are changing their paradigm in a very speedy way, and then we have to catch up the speed of the changes of the paradigm of ODA works. Okay, guys, thank you very much for the watching for the part 2 and who lectures for today. I hope to see you next lecture. Bye-bye.